All right, this is your lipid section. So we're in part B of your chapter 3 student notes. Lipids contain several groups of organic molecules that do not dissolve in water. So these are called hydrophobic molecules. The energy storage that is in lipids contain more energy per gram than other biological molecules, which are composed of glycerol and fatty acids that do your energy storage in animal cells, for example. So fats and oils are a type of lipid. Fats are usually of animal origin, consists of like lard and butter. Oils are usually of plant origin. Think of like corn oil or olive oil, those kinds of things. Fats in your body would serve 3 main functions. They do long-term energy storage. They perform insulation. Think of like the huge whales that swim in the Arctic Ocean, those kinds of things. They have a lot of fats on them. And it also forms a protective cushion around major organs. You wouldn't think of wanting a lot of fats there, but it does help cushion them. You have fats around your kidneys. You have some fat around your heart, even though you don't want too much. But it just helps to keep them from getting beat up if you get hit. Bile from your gallbladder acts as an emulsifier for digestion of fatty foods in your small intestine. So if you have your gallbladder removed, you're not able to process fats as well as before. It's not totally necessary, but then you do have to watch your diet. So lipids, it's not mentioned in your notes, but this is an example of a very small piece of a lipid. It's a hydrocarbon chain, so it's a bunch of carbons, which again are the blacks, and hydrogens joined together in a chain. This would be an example of a saturated lipid because every spot that could have a hydrogen does. An unsaturated lipid might have double bonds in between some of these carbons where they could be broken and you could have hydrogens attached. But these would be like hundreds of hydrocarbons long in multiple chains. If we're talking about the next one are phospholipids. So phospholipids, PHO lipids, they repel water. Or sorry, I'm reading the wrong part. But phospholipids are similar to fats. However, they contain a phosphate group, which is phosphorus and oxygens on it. The phosphorus and oxygens are hydrophilic. They like water. The lipid part, again, is hydrophobic. They don't like water. And they are a main component of cell membranes, which include 2 layers of lipids. And it's got a figure that it wants you to look at. It says page 41. It should actually be page 43 and figure 3.8, not 3.16. And I teach everybody in all my classes that you do your gang signs. So this part, the circle part, represents your phospholipid head, your phosphate head, which is hydrophilic. It likes water. It's got a charge. And then your tails are your 2 middle and your ring finger that stick out from those. Those are your hydrophobic or your lipid tails, those hydrocarbon chains that come off of it. So if you have these, and you drop them in water, they would kind of flip in on each other and they would form a ring, and that's your cell membrane. It's a double layered or phospholipid bilayer, and this part keeps water from passing through it freely. It has to have special aquaporin channels to keep the water going through. Your next part are waxes, which are lipids that repel water and are firm. They are the outer covering of plants. They are called the cuticle and made of cutin, and it prevents water loss. Bees use beeswax to build honeycomb. This is also a fat. When we did our lab and you looked at honey, it should have shown up as a lipid. And birds use waxes and fats to waterproof their feathers. When they preen, they kind of spread that wax on their feathers to waterproof it. You'll especially see ducks and water birds doing this. Steroids are another type of lipid. They do not have a fatty acid attached to them. One of the types of steroids that you have in your body is cholesterol. It is produced in the liver, and it is a high-fat cholesterol diet can lead to clogged arteries. But there's LDLs and HDLs. LDLs are healthy. They actually remove your HDLs, low-density cholesterol versus high-density cholesterol. Also, you have sex hormones, which are steroids as well. And they're important in determining your secondary sexual characteristics. So in different times in your life, like during embryonic development and again during puberty, you will have surges of estrogen or testosterone in your body, and that helps to build those secondary sex characteristics. So estrogen is found in the female, and also in the male, but not as much. And testosterone is found mostly in males, although females also have that secondary sex hormone as well. So the next one will be proteins. Don't tell me you didn't record all that. You've got to be freaking kidding me.